Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of I Trek. Big shout out to everybody that has just tapped in, man. We are on that Sunday flow, and per usual, I have a handful of interesting and creepy videos for us to go ahead and evaluate for ourselves, whether these are fact or fake. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at a lot of this disclosure that they've been putting out. They haven't really given any answers, just a lot of pictures and videos, so we're going to take a look at it and kind of decide for ourselves what really is going on. Do make sure to watch until the end because there's gems all through this episode. But before we get into any of that, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button if you're not a part of the iTrack fam, one of the most active communities on YouTube, man, and that's a fact. And hit that hype button for good measure, and let's go ahead and get right into it.
The UFO files, the never-before-seen images just made public. The Pentagon releasing the first wave, dozens of videos going back decades, showing mystery sightings in the skies over the U.S., even American astronauts and what they reported seeing from the surface of the moon. Here's Jay O'Brien tonight.
Tonight, extraterrestrial enthusiasts of all kinds are poring over unexplained videos, photos, and reports released today by the Pentagon on the order of President Trump. More than 160 file sightings of unknown flying objects, some made public for the first time, officially called unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, better known as UFOs. This infrared video taken by the U.S. military somewhere in the Middle East in 2013 appearing to show a star-shaped object leaving behind a trail in the sky. This one showing a white dot seen darting through a wind farm. Another flying fast west to east spotted by U.S. Central Command over rooftops in Iraq. Also in the files, audio of Gemini 7 astronaut Frank Borman detailing a sighting of an unidentified object during the 1965 mission, calling it a bogey.
So we have a bogey at 10 o'clock high. So we have several, looks like debris up there, actual sighting.
Apollo 17 astronauts taking this photo on the moon, showing 3 dots in a triangular formation, the crew describing very bright particles of light rotating way out in the distance. President Trump, who after prodding from congressional Republicans declassified the files, touting complete and maximum transparency, writing it's up to the public to decide for themselves what the hell is going on.
And David, the government touted these files as never before seen, but some of them had been public in the past. The military, though, acknowledges that many are unresolved. They cannot be explained. And tonight, the Pentagon is promising more releases of files to come. David.
A lot of interest for sure. Jay O'Brien, thank you.
Now, if we're going strictly off of biblical terminology, we kind of already know what's going on. But for the government to say they have no clue what to tell us, I know something's up with that. We definitely have to call cap on that.
What does the shoebox? He had the pictures of people being executed, but he also had a mask in the shoebox. And he pulled this mask out, and the mask was a human face, but the human face had the eyes in it, and it was warm. And the back of the mask had an imprint that looked like scales. And so this was very bizarre. And the eyes on the back of the side of the mask were not for my eyes, I know that. So it was something that, you know, I can honestly, I'm a firm believer in Socrates' principles of, you know, true wisdom comes from knowing that I know nothing. I don't know what that mask belonged to. I don't know if it was alien or a race that's maybe been on the planet since prehistoric eras or some secret government project, but I do know that was much more advanced than any technology I had ever seen. I don't think we could have reproduced that. I don't know how it was made. It was basically a living mask.
Pictures we're going to look at right now are from the Apollo 12 mission. Now, I wanted to start here because what they talk about is so hard to wrap your head around. It's so fantastic. I wanted you to see some pictures of things that were actually caught by astronauts, by NASA, during the Apollo 12 mission. I want you to keep in mind that the Apollo 12 mission was 1969. Now, what they've released here is a magnified version of a phenomena that was observed in these pictures. Now, you can see the actual size is this small box back here, and it's magnified to this large box here. And what we are seeing, to me, is absolutely remarkable, because if you have ever heard astronauts talk about what it looks like to be on the moon, they talk about pitch black, that you can't see anything, that you can't even see the stars. And so for there to be something that's visible, something so unusual, is just remarkable to me. We're going to just scroll through these pictures, and then we're going to get into what they say they saw. But to me, this is just absolutely remarkable. This is not at all what I expected to be released. Now, here's another picture that is somewhat less fantastic than the one we just saw, but there are also visual phenomena that are occurring. And the way that these are described, it sounds like they're blinking or pulsing, because we're going to hear the astronauts actually describing some of what they saw. And now as we get to this, you can see this one is a little bit more colorful, and these have moved around a bit. And this one right here is incredibly striking to me. You see 3 distinct lights on here. This isn't a reflection. These aren't planets. It's just remarkable to me that they are now releasing this. And obviously, if these were things that could easily be explained away, they would have done it. These wouldn't be classified. These are classified for a reason, or they have been. And to me, that is just absolutely remarkable, far beyond anything that I anticipated being released in this. And then you see a picture like this with 5 different areas that they're magnifying. It's really almost hard to wrap your mind around the fact that this is real. This is something that NASA has had, that the government has had for decades. This was 1969. It's not like that they had special effects that they could be creating at the time that would look anything like this. Area 5 in particular stands out as just absolutely remarkable to me.
Something tells me that they're just checking the temperature of the population. I mean, they've only released parts and pieces of the documents that they do have. I'm pretty sure it's going to get a lot more terrifying as they release the rest of this.
And I talked to Prince 8 hours before he died. I talked to Prince, and he called and he was pitching. He was saying that me, him, and Jay-Z should start an entertainment company. And he said he had talked to Jay and he wanted to do it. And we talked that night, and in the morning, he was gone. I don't know what that says about me.
Well, I don't think it. You have enough experiences in life. Look, things happen.
Scientists have finally solved the mystery of how the pyramids were built after they found this new evidence that neatly explains everything. The construction of the Great Pyramids has been one of humanity's greatest mysteries for millennia, as their enormous size, geometric precision, and intricate internal designs have led to wild theories ranging from lost advanced technology to even extraterrestrial visitors. However, the recently discovered answer is even stranger than fiction, as this final theory combines 2 previous theories into one unified story. The first foundational theory that scientists have long believed was that the Egyptians used a massive ramp to hold the limestones up. However, this idea falls apart when it's calculated that in order to reach the top, they would have needed a ramp that was bigger than the pyramid itself. But then a second foundational theory emerged when researchers found evidence that the Nile used to run through where the pyramids were built, causing some to believe that the Egyptians used a complex hydraulic system to lift the stones up. But this theory once again falls apart due to the lack of any internal lift structure. However, finally, one scientist proposed a unique combined theory. He says that the larger lower levels were likely built using hydraulics and then later covered up with stone, while the upper levels used an internal ramp, allowing for precise navigation while keeping the needed amount of materials down to a minimum.
The demons that most people talk about and are afraid of are not even demons at all. But that fear around them is very real, and that fear is what's causing the damage. We often mislabel something other than what it is, and that mislabeling changes how you interact with it. And when you respond from a place of fear or aggression, you are escalating a situation instead of resolving it. So what happens when you've been reading the wrong thing this whole time?
What do you think? This lady woke up somewhere and don't know how she got there and don't remember the night before with these painful holes in her neck. Hospital told her it was animal gave her shots and pain medication. Same area in New Orleans, jogger went missing. This is what the camera street footage captured, but they wrote it off as a glitch. Look what I saw. Do you guys see what I see? After playing with the speed view, can see whatever it is have legs. It grabbed him, bit him on the neck because the guy neck bent. Then it took him. Do you see the second being? It grabbed him here. Snap his neck or bite him on the neck, then left. I feel like when it's supernatural, it's easier for the authorities to say no evidence instead of telling people something came as fast as lightning and grabbed this man.
I didn't really. Everyone said I should eat pizza. I was like, well, no, I don't want to. And then Because I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to. But I need to take a step back because you just said something crazy. What do you mean, why would you want to eat pizza? I don't know, why get up in the morning?
Because
why look at the sun? Why enjoy a rainbow? President Trump, we need someone deported immediately. Yes, he's calling pizza an open sandwich. Yeah, okay. Guillermo, we'll unlock the door, all right? All right, we'll see you soon. Well, that is a shocking and controversial statement that could potentially affect your visa.
Should it?
Yeah.
Should it? No, it's not like, I just wouldn't.
There's no getting out of this now.
It's not, is it?
Yeah, no.
How can we, like, hang out, like?
I mean, hey, we can hang out in my chat.
You don't want somebody to, like, pump you, make you bigger than you already are?
Who you? What can you do for me?
Only time will tell, right?
What can you do for me, though?
My man, did you want to take out my contact gun, or we gotta sit on top?
Well, no, what can you do for me?
Huh?
What can you do for me?
The thing is, what could I not do for you?
Ooh, can you give 10,000 subs?
10,000 what? One more time? Subs. Clarify that, please.
That's subscriptions. On live stream.
I can get you a lot more than that.
Ooh.
Yeah. How do I link in with this guy, dude?
He might be Illuminati.
Hey, Kai can smell that guy was full of that cap, boy. Hey, he wouldn't answer a question. People that dodge questions, you know, especially when they're direct questions, something is up.
Sammy told me he worshipped the devil. We were in Dan Tana's on that restaurant with all the pictures of him. Sammy was like, you know, Satan is as powerful as God. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He says, why do you think there's so much anger in the world and killing and murder and Satan? And he saw my reaction to it, and he kind of lightened up on it.
Yes, Sammy Davis Jr. was a Satanist. It all started in 1968 at a nightclub. Sammy was invited to a private party that turned out to be a satanic gathering. There was obviously a lot going on at this party. It was people there in hoods, people there in masks. It was also people naked and having sex. This is where Sammy got introduced to Anton Levy, who was the leader of the Church of Satan. They quickly became friends, and Sammy continued to go to these parties until he eventually became a member of the church. It was said that Sammy would try to share his satanic philosophies with anyone that would listen. In 1972, he tried to share his newfound faith with the world through a movie called Poor Devil, but the movie was received poorly and immediately faced backlash. Multiple religious groups protested NBC for releasing this movie to the point where they completely got rid of it. But the Church of Satan was fine. They just wanted the attention from the movie. And after that, they made Sammy Davis Jr. an honorary second-degree member, meaning he was like right under the leader. Anton Levy wanted to promote Sammy once again to a senior official, meaning he would have control over his own church. But when Sammy began to get into politics and get closer to politicians, he officially left the Church of Satan in 1974.
And in the video before this one, episode 485, Sammy Davis actually said why he left. He said it was getting too deep for him. Yeah, he liked to play around with the devil, but the devil was doing a whole lot that he didn't agree with, apparently.
It's true that, you know, the White House does like to prepare all the food, and the kids were not always enthusiastic about the food that they were being served. So they were always trying to call for pizzas. And you can't order a pizza to the White House. I'll just tell you that right now. And we didn't.
Sometimes there were exceptions.
Yeah, sometimes you could go out maybe, and one of the kids could go out maybe and meet the
and pick it up.
Yeah, the pizza driver. Yeah, but the first time you would have thought that, you know, war had been declared. There's a pizza truck outside that says a pizza was ordered. What do we do with it? And yeah, we had lots of challenges like that.
I was taken by beings who self-identified as Saurian. Their ancestry came from something what we would describe as reptiles. I think that they had an interest in my development. If there's any kind of intervention physically, it would have occurred in the story I told about being a young child and being taken to that Victorian house and being medically examined. And so the hybridization is not necessarily changing our appearance, but more like expanding our consciousness and expanding human potential to be all that we can be. And the agencies are CIA in particular. And I believe that they are looking at human origins through the examination of alien DNA and the discovery that some of that alien DNA is in humans, that they want to know the origin of that, and that certain humans seem to have enhanced DNA. And we know that certain families have this enhanced DNA, not just regular human DNA, but enhanced DNA. How far back does it go?
Watch his eyes. Nobody else noticed this?
Senator, or do you agree with me that medical privacy should be important to the American people? Because I believe medical privacy is important.
Sometimes they just malfunction.
How can you tell if you are a reptiloid or if there is a reptiloid near you? Their distinguishing feature is that they have no connection to the Earth. What does it mean to have a connection to the Earth? It means being able to draw energy from the Earth and from nature, as well as release negativity into the ground. A reptiloid entity does not have such a connection, so it can only feed on energy from people. These are so-called energy vampires. How do they feed? Often they are trolls like this. You know, there are people on the internet who love to troll, who enjoy provoking negative emotions, intimidating, driving others to hysteria, destabilizing, creating dependencies, and manipulating. The second sign is the eyes. If a person's eyes are the mirror of the soul, a reptiloid does not have this. And the eyes of reptiloids are cold, they don't look like human eyes. There's something reptilian or even fish-like about them. They love power. Often they become politicians, they become leaders of cults. They like to be spiritual teachers, gurus.
You know, she just described a lot of the toxic people that we all know that might be in our lives on a daily basis.
You know, I noticed something very interesting about this latest video. First of all, this thing's supposed to be hotter than lava, and this guy's just touching it with like the smallest gloves in existence. But I want you to see this right here, right there. You guys see that right there? This is exactly how they tell you that this was a satanic ritual, a lie. Something that we've seen so many times with satanic celebrity, just over and over and over again. This is what the elites do. They just laugh in your face. They should not have been able to be this close to this thing, touching it. The rubber on top and what it's on right now, a rubber boat, should be completely melted if it's coming in at 25,000 miles per hour, hotter than lava apparently, throwing up the devil symbol. This is all completely fake. And I'm telling you right now, guys, you are so incredibly stupid if you believe this. I guarantee if you believe this, then you are fully vaccinated, you are fully fluoridated, and you are one of the lowest IQ people in existence if you believe any of this nonsense. Straight up. Peace and love.
This is Diana before she died. He said these people are actually reptilians.
Yes.
She said they're from some Gencronian star system or some crazy shit.
And then they crash her.
Yeah, then they crash her out. When a human being eats another human being, it causes brain damage. When that happens, it's like, okay, how much can you actually do that before you actually, it's to the detriment of your, yeah, exactly. So for these people to do that for this extended period of time, it's like, maybe you're not human.
The Rothschild has been around hundreds and hundreds of years. I think that they have the blood of some extraterrestrial that from the very start.
You think they're like hybrids?
Kind of, yes.
Some type of lineage or something that makes sense towards connected to them.
And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart were already attached, and I was like, these characters are jumping off the page. And my role, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the most popular girl in high school. For some reason, I know how to play that. And then it was such a hit. It was way bigger than I even anticipated. And now, I think we're going to make part 2. I think you have to. I think you, have to. They kill you if you try to walk away. And they clone you.
This is truly wild, but it turns out death may not be as final as we think. One of the most fascinating stories I've worked on as an editor at Popular Mechanics involves some experiments led by a Yale neurobiologist to test a sort of advanced life support system called OrganEx. It uses, these are very non-scientific terms, assorted pumps, heaters, and filters to circulate a blood substitute that can revive dead cells and maybe a whole lot more. In one experiment, researchers put several pigs into cardiac arrest and then waited a full hour to make sure they were good and dead before hooking them up to their OrganEx system. Within half an hour, heart monitors connected to 4 out of the 5 pigs began to light up. The heart's electrical activity had resumed without any chest compressions or CPR. Color even returned to the pig's skins. Then came the movements. When researchers inserted a catheter into the pig's carotid artery, the animal moved. It wasn't just a twitch or spasm, but something scientists described as complex motion. Was the pig alive? Had it returned from the dead? Researchers are careful not to draw too many hard conclusions after the experiment, but it does suggest that death is not as final as we once believed.
A tourist tried using a 100-time zoom camera to spot a hidden leopard in the wild. The tourist thought he had finally spotted the animal until he realized something terrifying. The leopard had already been silently watching him the entire time. The chilling moment was captured on camera and is now going viral online because of the animal's incredible stealth and patience.
The Lord showed me back in 2023 and before that there was a virus coming worse than COVID, and that it would kill over 350 million people in the days ahead. And I told everybody about this over a year ago. They're not ready for what's coming. And I saw a genetically modified, like it was created by a lab, but they took the blood, the code of the DNA or whatever this is that I saw in a lab and created a new part of a COVID virus, okay? And I saw them splicing this into this virus, and they started to inject it into rats. What did the Lord say? He said it will start in Europe. They have the World Health Organization, they're all freaking out about this virus, and it's all about rats.
Another in Arizona and an undisclosed number of people in California. Health departments in Texas, another in Arizona and an undisclosed number of people in California. Health departments in all of these states telling NBC News that the former passengers whose identities are being withheld are not showing any symptoms. Texas explaining that the passengers have agreed to monitor themselves for symptoms with daily temperature checks. The other states declining to share how the passengers are being monitored. We asked each state if those passengers are quarantining. 4 would not answer that question. Arizona saying the person there is not isolating.
I think what trips me out the most is that there are no symptoms. So it could be a whole lot of people out there running around just not even knowing. Thank God I'm a homebody though.
Pray and spray.
So what you're saying is we are on the cusp of getting a lot more details that deal with actual alien beings, however you're going to describe them.
That's certainly up to the president's team, and I certainly support them, but it has come to my attention actually recently, as of today, there are some actors within certain intelligence agencies, to include DIA and CIA specifically, that are actually blocking some of the president's presidentially appointed team and getting access and getting control on some of these historical records. So I really expect the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, Bradley Hansel, to take care of that, as some of that's under his cognizance, especially on the national program side, which is directly under his organization, to reveal some of the historical National Security Council records on this.
If the Earth is made up of mostly water, that means this isn't our planet, and that everything that lives in the water, this planet was made for them.
He let the doll out of the closet and woke up looking like this.
You notice it's the same size.
Something ripped the cross off his door. Then inside the room he noticed a creepy clown doll named Clyde. Suspecting the doll, he leaves the camera facing it. The doll's head slowly looks up at the camera, and at night it moves once again. So he buys holy water to pour on the doll and see its reaction.
Okay, so I'm just going to grab the holy water here and see if there is any reaction. All right. Oh, shit. Not now. Oh.
The clown deliberately falls over and knocks the holy water.
Oh, shit, the holy water. Oh, fuck you, stupid clown.
Then he gets angry because the next night he woke up like this.
So right now, the clown, Clyde, is the prime suspect right now. And if you look at his hand, compared to my bruise, you notice it's the same size. So, yeah, it was definitely him, I'm pretty sure.
Even stranger is the next day his arm looked like this.
And it's about 24 hours since I found my bruise on my arm. Now let me show you my bruise. As you can see, I don't have any more, which is weird because my arm was really swollen and the bruise was pretty severe. A bruise like that would have lasted at least a week or two, not 24 hours.
If the doll broke the cross, wasted the water and bruised him, what will he do next?
I don't know, but that guy seems a few bricks short of a building. He seems like he wants to mess around and find out.
This is the problem between poor people and rich people. When it comes to poor people, they can't keep their mouth shut and not tell others. They want to brag. They want to go out there and say, yo, do this. Rich people, oh, they signed that non-disclosure. Oh, they ain't saying shit because they know there's consequences for their actions.
Fun fact of the day. In Norway, the word Texas can be used to describe something as wild or chaotic.
Here's your reminder that the internet is not wireless. It's just a bunch of cables. Right now, there is over 900,000 miles of physical cables the thickness of a garden hose sitting on the ocean floor. They carry 99% of all data that travels between continents and roughly $22 trillion of financial transactions every single day. The Maria cable, owned by Microsoft and Meta, connects Virginia to Spain and carries 224 terabits per second. For reference, GTA 6 is about 200 gigabytes. You can download the entire game in 7 milliseconds, and in 1 second you can download GTA 6 140 times. That's roughly 16 million times faster than your typical home internet. And these cables break all the time, especially by ship anchors. In 2002, one cargo ship accidentally dragged its anchor and cut 3 of the 4 cables that connect US and Europe and took out the transatlantic internet. And 2 weeks ago, China tested a deep-sea device that could intentionally cut these cables at depths of over 11,000 feet, which is deeper than any known system. We're so used to wireless tech that it's easy to forget. It's all just a bunch of cables.
What's that? It's gliding like... Oh, it's too big for a hawk. That's not right. It's still going.
Which empire do you think is collapsing? The United States empire?
The United States empire is collapsing, yes.
And who is taking its place?
No one can take the place of the American empire. So we live in a unipolar moment. And the closest historical analogy to today is something called the Bronze Age collapse.
The Bronze Age?
The Bronze Age collapse. And this happened about over 3,000 years ago. And what happened during the Bronze Age collapse is that you have these established kingdoms throughout the Middle East and Europe. You have Mycenaean Greece. You had the Hittite Empire in Anatolia, which is present-day Turkey. You had the Mesopotamian Empire. You had the Egyptians. And one by one, they collapse.
Some of the pictures released today in the U.S. government's UFO and extraterrestrial disclosure are pretty interesting and outright weird. So I just thought I'd show you a couple of them now that really grabbed my attention. This is a picture from like the 1950s. You see the little guy right there? By the way, the happy face is covering up stuff we don't need to see. That's supposed to be an extraterrestrial alien. Yeah, that's what they're saying it is. That's from the government's own archives. And that picture was also enhanced so we can see it even better. So take another look. This is definitely weird, and if that is an extraterrestrial, these people were parading it around like a stray cat they found in the street. Now I zoomed in on that image so we can get a better view. And once again, I covered up the part that no one needs to see. But this is really weird looking. That very well could be an extraterrestrial. I don't know. I would absolutely discard that image if it wasn't in the government's own archive that they kept secret from the public for decades. Then we got this one of an object that was recorded from a military jet. This is absolutely a craft of some kind. Can't get a scale of how big it is though. And once again, it's weird, baby. It's weird. Remember, that's also from the government's own archive that they've been keeping secret from us for decades. So my question is, what do you think about the recently or just released UFO extraterrestrial evidence from the United States government? Because to me it's pretty interesting, but it doesn't really clear anything up. But like I said, I want to know what you think. Let me know down in the comments section. Shabadoo Bushkis, Shabadoo.
At first, the video feels completely normal, but if you watch closely, something creepy appears. As the man kicks the ball, the camera briefly pans toward a nearby bridge. For just a moment, a pale, ghostly-looking woman can be seen standing near the structure. When the area near the bridge comes back into view, the woman is gone. There's no sign of her walking away, no place she could have stepped behind. She appears to have vanished completely.
And she helped me to understand that there are chosen ones here. And chosen ones are here on assignment. And palmistry helped me to understand that we have signs on our hands. The M, the X, the half moon. Also, the triangle, the star. So, there's some other marks. I don't talk about the marks that much, those marks. I always talk about the M, the X, and the half moon, because most people have those marks. But here's the thing, not everybody mark is activated.
What if a tech company said that if you put a mini data center in your home, they would pay you every single month? What if that amount that tech company paid you theoretically paid for your home and all of your expenses for you stationing that data center in your home? Well, we're hearing today that NVIDIA is partnering with an AI company to bring many data centers to residential homes. So my question to you and the public, would you be willing to put a data center in your home if it paid all of your bills? It's coming. And they're calling this the Uber of data centers, meaning they're cutting down the price by not having to build the big data center and putting these in homes. I'm out.
Hey, it sounds like a deal, but I just would like the full story. We hear the pros. I want to know what the cons are.
This frightening and mysterious thing was captured during a live television broadcast. While a press conference for the actor Johnny Depp at the Cannes Film Festival, and as the actor was answering journalists' questions, something very strange suddenly happened.
She was very patient with me, I'll put it that way.
Do you feel that the tide is changing toward you doing major studio films again?
We're discussing. Did I feel boycotted by... We're discussing. Did I feel boycotted? Did I feel boycotted?
Out of nowhere, a transparent black creature moved at incredible speed between the journalists. It is impossible for this to have been a human, because the speed at which it was moving was completely unnatural.
We're discussing. Did I feel boycotted?
The video of the press conference is still on the official Cannes Film Festival channel and was published as a normal video. No one seemed to notice the appearance of that creature. You can go back to the original video and check for yourself. So, what is your explanation for what appeared?
There is no escape from the matrix other than a perfect collapsing into the nesting into the fractal geometry of the living moment. So finding the still point in the living moment is the only exit strategy from the matrix. You can't find the escape out there. That's part of the great dialectic, the illusion and the paradox.
Should I leave?
What the hell? She's just staring. Why is she doing that?
I hate that. Oh my god, that is actually terrifying. She's a demon, clearly.
Just casually walking. Oh look, there's Pinky in the brain.
inside of a clear translucent sphere.
How long would these things stay up there for?
They were always out there. You know, they were
Always.
out there when we took off. We'd see them, and then we go to land, they would still be out there.
Like every day?
Every day.
When do you start getting a thought to like, what the f*** is this thing?
So that happened when we visually saw one. And the first time we visually saw one, the object was directly at what we call the entry point of the area. So, you know, that box that I told you about in the sky that starts 10 miles off the coast, there's a particular GPS, you know, location and altitude where incoming traffic will fly in and outbound traffic will fly in the exact same spot, but will fly out 1,000 feet lower. There were 2 aircraft from my squadron, VFA-11, and they took off as a flight of 2. That means they're essentially flying in a formation like this. And as they hit the area, one of these objects went right between the aircraft. The lead air crew saw the object. The Dash 2 aircraft crew did not, which is not surprising because they're usually, you know, you're very focused on flying formation. You're just staring right at that aircraft. The lead really has actual leeway to look around. So he saw it, and you know, he immediately came back. I have to assume he didn't have it on his radar because he wouldn't have flown through this object at the entrance point. He turned around, flew back, landed, and I was in the ready room when he come back, and you know, he had all his gear on, which typically is not a good thing because you want to get that stuff off as fast as possible. So usually means, you know, there's a problem of some nature. And, you know, he was just sitting there saying, hey, you know, I almost hit one of those damn things. And we all knew what he was referring to, even though we didn't necessarily have a name for it, just because we were seeing these so much. And he described it, you know, he described it just as a black or dark gray cube. And that cube was inside of a clear translucent sphere. And essentially the apex or the corners of that cube, best he could tell, were touching that inside of that sphere.
People talk about UFOs, is that what it is?
It just came out in the Epstein files that the elites were purposely trying to lower testosterone in men so that men can't fight back, putting estrogen in the water, making men very passive and weak through social media. They're telling them, oh, your masculinity is toxic and you should actually just be super soft and sweet all the time and gentle and never fight against anything. It's to cover up the things that they're doing. Because if every single man had the mindset of, no, our job is to protect women and children no matter what, they would not be getting away with the things that they're getting away with.
In 2020, cruise ship captain Kate McHugh reported a silent black UFO moving 10 to 15 miles per hour against the wind over her vessel, the Celebrity Edge, before it descended into the ocean and vanished. Listen to her describe what she saw and filmed that day.
It looked like a black jellyfish, a gigantic black jellyfish, and it sailed right over the retreat, directly through the center line of the ship, right through our X and our stack, and just floated through. Thing was, we had no wind, maybe 5 knots at the time, but this thing was cruising along about 10, 15 miles per hour, just cruised right over, and as it passed the stern of the ship, it went a couple hundred meters, maybe 300 to 400 meters, and then it started to descend into the water. But because it was sunset, we couldn't put a rescue boat down to go see what it was, but it disappeared into the water, and we have no idea. It wasn't a drone, there was no noise associated with it.
The description of the object as jellyfish shape has also caught a lot of attention online. Unlike classic UFO reports of discs or triangles, this shape sounds more organic, almost like something alive or at least something designed to mimic natural forms. What did she see? Was it some sort of test drone, government technology, maybe something alien? Who knows? Or maybe it was just a balloon.
Now that disclosure is actually happening, people that have encountered these things in the past can come out and kind of disclose what they went through without having any kind of recourse behind it. Because in the past, people were threatened to keep quiet about this kind of stuff.
Alright guys, I want you to watch this video. This was with the P900 camera zooming in on a planet for educational purposes. Alright guys, this is trippy, right? Look, that's supposed to be Jupiter. Right there. That guy right there is supposed to be Jupiter. According to the little maps, star maps you can download. Look what the hell Jupiter looks like when you zoom in with the P900. Now, you tell me that's a rock, a planet, that they tell you. Yeah, right.
You guys, that's another one in the books. I appreciate you guys for always stopping by, watching, and learning with me. Don't forget to always do your homework and don't believe everything that you see. Before we go ahead and get out of here, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button if you're not a part of the iTrack fam, and hit that hype button too for good measure, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.